morning.
Good morning.
I'm the Reverend Rachael Hayes, minister of the Unitarian Universalist Society of Amherst. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old, in the Zoom and in the sanctuary. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. I call us to worship this morning with these words from the Reverend Nathan Ryan. Be it real or metaphor, whatever is in your backpack or your briefcase or your purse that you've brought into the sanctuary that is weighing you down, leave it behind. Whatever you are carrying that is keeping you distracted or caught up in shame or guilt or hopelessness, leave it behind. If you need it, it will be there when we're done, but for this hour, just let it go. Come into this place with open hearts. Come into this place with a soul that has remembered how to be tender again. Come into this place with a renewed hope for this world. Come into this place ready to build a world we've always been worthy of and have always dreamed of. Come, let us worship. We are blessing our backpacks today. So if you have a backpack or a purse or a tote bag or something like that with you, this is the time when you want to really have it. I invite all the kids up to the carpet in the front here and bring your backpack if you have it with you. I think a lot about blessings. And when I say blessing, I mean that I am noticing that something is good and saying that we want more of that goodness. And not necessarily that I want the goodness all for myself, just that I want it to keep being good. So if I have a friend who worked really hard on a project, I might say, oh, bless you for your hard work. Bless the tech team for the ways they're keeping us together. May your work do good in the world. So we can bless lots of things. I remember last fall we had a blessing of the animals, and some of you came to that and got your live animals and your stuffies and your action figures blessed. That was awesome. But today we're going to bless our backpacks. So when I was in school, I took my backpack with me, like many of you do. But now I bring my backpack here, and here it is. I use it to carry my computer and my papers and my books and my snacks and my umbrella and things that I might want with me. So I put it all in my backpack, as a lot of the time as much as I can fit in there. And the beautiful thing about a backpack is that it can hold all of our things together, even when we put them down. So it's our chance to put things down and then take them up again when we're ready to keep our hands free to work and to help. Our backpacks are there when we need them. They're useful and reliable. Andrew, what can you tell us about our backpack blessing charms today?
So we have these little charms, and every single one of them is different because every single one of them was made either by one of the children in religious education or one of their parents. And so we had some crafting going on this morning, and I do want to say, because they were made this morning, some of them have a little glue still to dry, you know. And they have different words or images drawn by us and put together for you. And the children are going to help me pass them out, and you're going to get one completely at random. And I want you to take that charm that you've been handed and remember that someone here made it just for you. So once you have your charm, if you would like to head back to your parents and they can hold your backpack and your charm for you, and then come back and meet me, and I will give you some charms to pass out to the congregation. And as that happens, Brenda is going to play some music for us.
Wonderful.
No.
That happens, huh?
Oh yeah, some of them are.
Hold your charm in your hand. You might want to hold it in two hands and close your eyes, or you might want to hold it in an open hand so you can see it. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. Feel the love drawn and colored and glued into your charm. May this charm remind you that you are important and loved, that you belong and can always come home to us. See or imagine the charm on your bag. Let it be a reminder of people who love you and want good things for you. May you go safely, bravely, and kindly everywhere you go. Blessed be, and amen.
And now the congregation is going to sing us out as Brenda plays. More time.
Go in beauty, peace be with you, till we meet in our hearts in the light.
I remember my backpacks when I was in grade school. It seemed that they got bigger and bigger and bigger, so much bigger than that. I stuffed them until they broke. By the time I was in high school, it seemed as though I had to carry the textbook equivalent of a linear foot of encyclopedias with me most days. You know, back when encyclopedias were books. A cubic foot of books weighs about 22 pounds, and that adds up when you have to travel from the basement after PE to biology on the 3rd floor. So it's personal to me when we bless the backpacks for all that they hold, for the ways that they are a constant witness to our transit through life. I bless the backpacks like those of my own youth, the ones with Strained zippers and tired straps, puffed out with sweaters in the afternoon and lunches in the morning. But today I bless the space within them too. The places that are just air, not yet crammed full of projects, options, required reading, and reading for fun. I bless the empty spaces, whether they are large or small. One bit of my reading for fun this summer was A Psalm for the Wild-Built by Becky Chambers, a fantasy set in a post-industrial utopia. After machines gained sentience, after the robots left humans alone for hundreds of years, a monk named Sibling Dex finds in himself a deep yearning to hear the sound of crickets live. They can find recordings of crickets, but it's not the same. So Dex gives up their life in the familiar monastery to travel among small towns, serving tea and offering comfort. They become the best tea monk around over years of study and experience, but they don't hear crickets out on the road either. They do something impulsive and taboo. They set out into the wilderness, lands previous generations of humans vacated, giving them back to the natural world and to the robots they had not seen in living memory. Sibling Dex, with their bicycle-powered cart, sets out for the truly unknown. And if you read into the foreshadowing and the cover, which says a monk and robot book, you won't be surprised as they are, that they meet a robot. I'll stop there because it is such a lovely little book, and it deserves to be discovered at its true pace. And I think Naomi might be trying to get a book discussion together of this one. So watch your email, or email Naomi. Dex wanted to hear crickets, and they left the monastery, and then they even left tea service behind to search for a sound they had never heard live. They had to make space in their life if they were ever going to experience the wonder they sought. And then they found wonder unsought when they met the first robot anyone had seen in centuries. If they had stayed in the monastery, they would have missed so many experiences of wonder. The first source of Unitarian Universalism, listed in the bylaws of the Unitarian Universalist Association, our beloved gray hymnals, and on our own congregational website, is direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. A nod to our transcendentalist forebears, but also to mystics everywhere who lean into the experience of awe as a spiritual practice. Awe is a response, not the practice itself, but we can cultivate practices that open us up to experiencing awe and wonder. To be awestruck by the stars, you do have to pay attention to the stars, after all. Whether you do that by looking up at night or looking up images from the new Webb telescope, wonder is related to paying attention. Wonder comes more easily when we're open to it. This opening up includes noticing, but it might also take the form of time to do nothing. It might even take the form of setting a worry aside for a little while, or forgiving a wrong, just to let go. Refusing to keep the maintenance of the hurt on the emotional to-do list. All of these things have a time and a place and a situation. We need to balance this direct personal experience with care of those who share our lives. Wonder is not a substitute for nurture or justice or long-term devotion, but opening up to this moment right now, to the miracle of all of us. All of us in the sanctuary and connected by wireless and networked threads of sound and video data, the thousands of ancestors whose lives led into ours, the future that will unfold from this second for each one of us, some short, some long, all touching in this one blip of time. It takes an openness to move into that space, whether you do it now or waiting for the bus. And I have found when I felt too tightly constricted by impossible circumstances or no desirable options, that opening up to wonder put me back in touch with the kind of joy that the world does not provide, as in our first hymn by gospel legend Shirley Caesar. When the first 2 weeks of the pandemic had me pacing within the walls of my one-bedroom apartment, it was taking a drive and simply looking at different trees and remembering that all of us were struggling through together separately that gave me the juice to carry on. It wasn't the trees themselves, it was my encounter with them and response to them. It wasn't knowing that you were all out there too. Of course I knew it, but opening my heart to yours, not providing the care, but allowing myself to just send you love beyond the practical constraints of what I could accomplish. Opening up, leaving empty spaces, going beyond our comfort zones to encounter the unpredictable is how we can prepare for wonder. We announce to existence, "Hi, I'm here," and then listen for an answer, an echo, a totally unrelated sound, or maybe a wild silence. That pause to listen, though, letting go of a plan for both sides of a dialogue, is the opening wonder needs to meet us. I conclude this reflection not in more words or something any one of us controls, but in sung meditation. I invite you to find a comfortable seat and an open posture as we sing meditation on breathing.
Breathing,
Let our meditation continue. We open ourselves to peace. We relax and allow love to overflow us. We breathe in. We breathe out. We open ourselves to receiving love from those around us and from those far away. We cultivate a peace that spills into our next moments. We breathe in. We breathe out. We open to the world of plants and animals, living and non-living things with whom we share our days. We accept that we are part of the world and of all beings and of matter. We breathe in. We breathe out. Let us open to silence. Let us receive silence. Into this silence, let us speak the names of those on our hearts this morning and type them into the chat. Ashley, George. Spirit of life, we hear you among us, faintly speaking beloved names in beloved voices. May those whose names we speak know that they are held in love by all of us gathered and by the love that holds us all. Amen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you all for coming. It's wonderful to be with you today. I invite you to rise in all the ways that we do. Stay in your place, hold hands, put your hands over your heart, for this day we come.